Pistons fans, what's going on? It's your boy King. Let's talk about tonight's game versus the Cavaliers. Obviously, it was the showdown between Cade Cunningham and Evan Mobley, the two number one and number two, guys at the top of the rookie list for Rookie of the Year this year. So the Pistons end up holding on 106 to 103. Did everything that they could at the end of the game to give it away. Well, I should say Dwayne Casey did. He put Corey Joseph in the game with the last 2 minutes left. You should have left Killian in the game. But they held on. Cleveland had at least about 3 to 4 chances at the end to at least knock down a three and take it to overtime, but they just could not get it done. So the defense just became, infectious in that third and fourth quarter. But we'll get into that in a minute. Let's go back to the beginning. Obviously, Isaiah Stewart was out there pounding, doing what he had to do out there. Like I said, to go against some towers like we had to face tonight, and Allen, man, and Mobley, and Markin, and these guys are so big in the paint. It's just crazy. But Isaiah did his thing out there. He definitely did his thing, man. He ended up, with 11 and 8 tonight. So, he only played 19 minutes. So, the second half is a story of why he only played 19. But for what it was worth, while he was out there, he made it. He definitely put his imprint on this game with 5 offensive rebounds, man. Also knocked down a three-pointer that really got everybody excited, including Coach Casey. That was fun. So, up and down the starting lineup, obviously not a really good game from Jeremy Grant. We'll get into him in a minute. Sadiq Bey, 24 points, did not shoot well at all. 1 for 7 from the three-point line. No free throws tonight. 1 for 7 from the field, obviously. He shot all threes tonight, man, but still was a plus in the plus-minus today. 3 points he ended with. So, that's that. Cade Cunningham, 17 points tonight, 4 for 16 shooting, 0 for 4 from 3. But he was 9 for 10 from the free throw line, and he ended up with 7 rebounds and 6 assists. So, with him being out there for what it was worth, he pretty much tried to make it count as much as possible, man. But the bench was the story. The story tonight. The guys off the bench was the story tonight. Diallo, obviously the leader on the team with 21 points tonight. 7 for 11 shooting and 3 for 3 from the three-point line. Y'all know that's not even his forte. 21 minutes played for him tonight. And obviously Bagley, 16 points and 4 rebounds, and really some really exciting plays out there. Magruder also was, man, he was red hot, 4 for 4 from three-point land tonight. So, and then of course, one of the biggest stories of the game obviously was the second half defensive effort when it came to Hamidou Diallo and Killian Hayes. They put the Cavs in their place. And they did just enough for the Cavs couldn't come back at the end of this game and win it. So, I mean, just poke aways, steals, blocks, energy plays, everything that you needed out there, they pretty much provided for you. Definitely looked like Lindsey Hunter and Mike James out there. So, but yeah, even though Killian 2 points out there tonight, right? You would go on the stats if you didn't watch the game and say, man, he only scored 2 points tonight. Definitely not the story. If you watched the same game we watched, you know exactly what we're talking about. So, absolute just crazy on defense tonight, man. Defending guards, defending centers, knockaways against Mobley and knockaways against Allen. Just quick hands out there, man. And Diallo, same thing, man. Creating steals out there. They both ended up with 2 steals apiece out there, but the knockaways and the fast breaks and like I said, they just did enough, and they put enough energy and it charged the defense completely, man. They got contagious out there, and they was able to, go on a nice little run, but at the same time, keep the Cavaliers, where they needed to be. So, man, that was pretty much the story of the game. It was tell of the halves, man. The first half we pretty much stuck with it, going back and forth with baskets, but the second half the defense kicked in. Obviously, it's just a total difference with the ball in Killian's hands versus Corey Joseph's. Corey Joseph against a team like this with size, it's just to have him out there starting just is kind of pointless. But I understand the situation. I said I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to complain about it. Troy Weaver spoke at halftime. Very interesting. Once again, made it known that they're not going to push the fast forward button. That was just his words, not mine. But they were talking about the Bagley move and everything else and the opportunity that they want to get these guys. Obviously, they called Livers back up today, even though he didn't play today. Livers did play in the G League, and he played well. Had a really, really explosive dunk. So, Livers and Chris Smith will both get a quick eye this year. This at the end of the season. They made that known, so I'm looking forward to that. We've been waiting for Isaiah Livers, and obviously Chris Smith was a wild card coming off of his injury, but he was really good in collegiate basketball. So, we'll see what happened with that situation. But as far as the game goes tonight, man, Pistons did enough to come out with the victory. We got about a good 20 something games left, if I'm not mistaken. Evaluation, man. That's what it's going to be about. Dwayne Casey, in a couple of his quotes today, it's about the evaluation. It's about the evaluation. And just like Troy Weaver said out of his own mouth, if we get wins along the way, he's good with that. But this is simply about guys trying to get themselves going in the second half of the season. And trying to improve on what they already done. So that's what the Pistons are looking for right now. They're not really, obviously we know they're not looking for wins. They're looking for development, and that's where we've been all season pretty much. It's just good to see all of these guys back and healthy. Frank Jackson was listed as probable, but he didn't dress tonight. So, like I said, we'll see some different lineups out there just to get guys on the court so we can get a pretty good measuring scale of some of these guys, man, and see what they have to offer. Especially Isaiah Livers, want to make that known. That was mentioned today. So it should be a pretty nice little ride for the rest of this little season. So, we got some games coming up on the weekend, a back-to-back, 12 p.m. game on Saturday. And then, like I said, we have a back-to-back. So, we'll see. I'm glad basketball is back. In spite of everything that's going on in the world right now, obviously the threat of war that's going on in the world right now. So, to be able to just take your mind off of reality and watch some basketball is always a good thing. But with that said, man, everybody just be safe, man, and hopefully this thing is over with and it doesn't escalate to a point to where we're at risk. And with that said, that's pretty much all I got for you guys. Love your families, man. Be safe. Peace.